here with Clay Smolinski from Platinum Asset Management, and the Europeans have been through a lot really in the last decade, and they've got plenty coming up. One of them is to do with the refugee crisis, and so we just wanted to spend a couple of minutes looking at the investment aspects of the European refugee crisis. So can you just take us through your thinking on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the refugee crisis, for me, the issue is the risk of it is that it's another challenge that the political will of the European Union needs to face. And for me, the crisis alone probably wouldn't be a huge deal for the Union, but the issue is that it comes on top of a lot of the problems those individual, the Union of countries has had to face over the last few years. So we think about the Union through the sovereign crisis. They got through the major battle, which was the economic battle, needing to cut the budget deficits, needing to wear that higher unemployment that caused. And from the economic perspective, we can fairly definitively point that battle has been won. The economy is now recovering, but that's left that political will far weaker. Since then, we've seen that in subsequent elections, more radical left or right-wing parties have been voted in. And examples of this would be Podemos in Spain or Syriza in Greece. We now have major members like the UK going to referendum on deciding whether to exit or not. And now we have the refugee crisis, and immigration is always a very politically charged issue, and it's clear that the member countries have differed in their views on how to on how to handle it. And that just creates, it's another issue, it's another reason for people to get upset, the voting populace, and maybe, vote for an exit. What is interesting for us as well, and as a bit of a mitigant to that, is how Germany has behaved through this. And certainly through the sovereign crisis, the response to that crisis was very much dictated by Germany. And that's forced a lot of the other member countries to go through a lot of pain. Now, with the refugee crisis, they've really stepped to the fore and said, we're going to do more than our fair share to handle this. We're going to take a lot of these people onto our soil. We're going to provide additional funding to the others to work through this. And I think it's their way of standing up and saying, look, we know you've done your part, and now it's our time to give back and show solidarity in the Union.
So the major risk here would seem political fallout.
Absolutely.
In terms of the uprising of hard left or hard right, probably hard right in this situation.
So very hard to factor that back into a definitive investment decision, but it's certainly something that we need to keep in mind. And often, when you compare the European market to the US market, the European market does trade at a valuation discount, but I think at least some of that discount is warranted given the more uncertain political outlook for that region.
No, so be alert but not alarmed at the moment. It's a work in progress.
That's how we're viewing it.
Thanks for your time, Clay.
You're welcome.